I slept. I made sure that I found a way through a cloud of haze. Every day I wept, found how to live through all them cloudy days. You know the mind's a maze with all its mixtures. It's always hard to get the entire scope of the picture. 1080p, that's you other busters, yeah, obsolete. Can't fuck with me, excuse my French, but I'm not discreet. I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I've learned my lesson. I learned 1996 birth, one of the greatest weapons untold. I'm destined to reach heights thought I could never see, but foolish thoughts rampage my heart and let me not reach the peaks that's entrusted to me. My belief shatter off past actions. I grieve, but grievance never really matter. It's how I choose to act differently in the coming battles to overcome my limitations and get out my shadow. But it's hard to wade in this water, but it was never shallow. Fuck it, let me get the paddles. Fuck that now, let me get this castle. Fuck that now, let me get this battle.
All right, we are here.
Nonetheless, Squad Nero back up in this thing. What's good? What's happening? We back up in this thing for another week, another episode. We are grateful that y'all are here. Please hit that like and subscribe button. And even when we're live or anything like that, please show your love in the comment section. If you disagree, let us know. This is season 2, episode 30, aka episode 74 up in this thing. Just a little bit closer to that 80 ball, and we are grateful for that. In this episode, we got the usuals. We got me, Sage, Croco's Corner, and then we got T Smooth as well. But we also got the special guest, as always, Otis from over at Blurred. We greatly appreciate you coming back on yet again.
He's like a straight up recurring guest at this point. He's like he just comes in when so he's like Morpheus. You want the red pill or the blue pill, and then just comes in with some hot take.
I mean,
and we appreciate you all
we always
the
do.
time.
There's worse comparisons than Morpheus. I guess I could say. Yeah, but I'm decent, man. Long day at work. But happy I got work that I can fuck it. And yeah. So I was right, but we'll get to that later.
It's gonna be a tough day for me, y'all. It's gonna be a tough day.
Nah. Remember, I'm here with you.
All right. No, I think Nyla is too a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think anybody here hated the movie.
No. Until Derek gets in here, then there's gonna be a ball game if he slides through.
It's gonna be cooked after that.
I gotta see his take on that. If he calls Superman, that'd be a -7.
He about to come back with the computers in the background, and I already know it's L's for us.
He gonna have a 15-minute rant. We gonna sit here like, come on, man.
But we appreciate y'all yet again for stopping on by. Did y'all want to just get into the review, or did y'all want to just like brush over some recent things? I know y'all were talking about Gachi Kuda and everything like that.
Nah, let's say Fantastic Four. We'll come back with how much it Gachi Kuda and everything next week. Let's go ahead. This is the episode. Fantastic. Is it mid?
Fantastic Four.
All right. This is the non-spoiler review. It's still early. Non-spoiler review. It is.
Bruh, they had 70.
Ain't no
almost.
way.
They had. Nah, son. They had 72 hours to watch this movie. Come on.
72
Some people had to work on the weekend.
Right?
I do agree. Though. We could do a non-spoiler side.
Do a little bit of portion of non-spoiler, and then we gonna get into the spoiler.
But give me some space. So like, hey, a couple minutes. Yeah.
Let me write this down. Non-spoiler.
Also, quick.
Y'all got 15 minutes before I start accidentally saying things.
This nigga.
It's not accidental if you premeditated.
Like I said, y'all got this pod got 15 minutes before I started throwing everything out there, especially the kitchen sink.
All right, now spoiler review. How y'all feel?
Right.
It's clobbering time. 9 out of 10.
And then I hate, I guess, to use the 10-point system, but I guess that's the universal best way to, I guess, rate some things in a quick form manner. So Out of 10, what do you give?
Oh
this?
wait,
Quick
no.
thoughts
Let's go
and
back
out of
to
10.
like earlier episodes, how we used to do it. What was it? I forgot the leftovers at a cookout. I forgot, but nah. Let's just go with the. We'll go back to that one day.
Leftovers at the cookout. How does?
If
What is that?
it was
No,
great,
I don't
if it
even
was
know.
great, then you're taking it. You're taking it back home. You're taking 2 or 3 plates.
So if it's good, it's your parents' cookout. Got
Yeah.
you.
Speaking of which, I'm
that sounds too
apologize.
complicated. And then like, our less melanated friends may not get that.
Yeah.
That reference.
Yeah, true. But we gotta explain it first. So I gotta come up with a
Hey,
voiceover that explains the whole thing. But speaking of cookout, Otis, my apologies. We had Sunday dinner this past Sunday before I had left.
They could barbecue.
Oh, that.
I apologize. The next one I'm in town until Monday. I got you.
I was actually there this time too.
Yeah, right.
I can't impose on your people all the time.
I'm just saying, Otis want to come back through for that cookout.
Yeah, let me know.
All right, I will start off Fantastic Four. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed the visuals. I enjoyed the storyline. I like the fact that we didn't get the whole they went into space and like that. Watching that whole situation, they pretty much just gave us a quick rundown of what happened. They went up in space. They came back with powers. Let's get rocking into it instead of like the last 2 where the thing comes out. Why am I changed? And we gotta watch that for the first 30 minutes of the movie, and that kind of wastes time. So I was kind of glad they pretty much got into it with the story and pretty much leading into Galactus and everything instead of just taking long with it, because then the movie would have to been 2.5 hours at that point. And Silver Surfer, she killed it. She killed it.
Did she?
Yeah, she did.
Go ahead.
All right. So like, I don't think the movie was mid, but I do think it was like it was lackluster. Things that I did enjoy about it, y'all know, I love that Franklin did not have any. I'm glad that it was contained to the end, because y'all know how much I hate the idea of them using this baby.
Oh, like how they use the dog in
like,
Superman?
No, I don't even have a problem. Personally, I didn't have a problem with that. It could have been a lot worse. But I was happy that they did not use the baby like that, and y'all already know I have really huge sentiments on that. This is our first showing of Fantastic Four. I wanted to see Fantastic Four, and we saw Fantastic Four. I love how much it stayed kind of close to the comic books. I love when they had the montage of the different characters that the Fantastic Four have actually faced in the comic books. Mole Man was, but it was cool. It was cool, but it wasn't like anything that made me go, okay, well, I would like to see more of that in the future. Which in a sense, that's not necessarily the movie's fault. It's just kind of the Fantastic Four got some freaky weird villains, at least in the earlier iterations. So I'm not putting that on the movie, but I was still appreciative of them doing that. I love that Johnny wasn't just a like a romancer. Yeah, just comic relief and romancer. I love, because if they were to go by comic book, if they had him in there and he was just mooning over the Silver Surfer, you could argue that is a comic accurate portrayal of him. But I do think that giving him more, let him kind of dive into like linguistics and different things like that, showcasing his education and him being smart. I thought that was solid, and I would love to see more of that in the future, if that is in the future. I hated. Well, let me not go to what I hated first. Let me still stay with some positive.
Thank you.
I like that it really did feel like, to me at least, it felt like, not saying it was the same type of movie, but this felt like Marvel's take on like a more serious drama-esque movie, kind of like when we seen with DC, what they did with like the Joker and what they did with Watchmen. Again, not to compare it to those films, but this felt like the Marvel version of that more drama-based movie, and I hope that that is something that maybe this is just the beginning, but that they can pivot to in stronger ways in the future, because I don't feel like we got a great showing of that with Eternals. I do feel like this was a better example than that one. So I was cool with them stepping out on the limb and doing that. Not a lot of action as a result of that. That was disappointing, but again, because I understood and appreciated them stepping out on the limb, I could be forgiving for that. Now let me go to what I hated, because I don't think there's anything else here that I like. I hate the fact that this planet still exists, knowing that we are in this multiverse saga. Maybe that is a personal complaint that really isn't justified, but you know, if I'm trying to get behind the whole idea of this multiverse saga having some form of connection, having some form of cohesiveness that would make sense, I don't like the idea of this movie not showcasing that. I think if we know that at the end of Thunderbolt, I can't share because I'm spoiling, ain't I?
What, some from Thunderbolts?
Yeah, let me go.
It's fair game. No, Thunderbolts. You can say that.
Yeah. Have I said anything to spoil so far?
No.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
Okay.
Yeah,
you're doing a good job.
Yeah, because I mean, we saw if you saw Thunderbolts, you saw the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, you saw the ship come in.
Yeah,
that's not saying anything. You're right. You guys right. I think that, put it like this, I felt like there should have been more in this movie that built upon that idea and concept than what we
should have learned it there.
Yes, me and O are in complete agreements on that. It makes me happy to hear that somebody else feels that same way. I appreciate you. In terms of the mystery character that we got, it was stupid how they did that. I wish that there had been more in regards to that. I hated the post-credit scene, which also kind of ties into that. I did not like Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. It's not that he did anything bad. I think that in terms of the script that they gave for Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards, it was solid. I loved it. That is how Reed isn't. That's how he reacts when he's panicked. That's how he reacts in his just casual living. And in regards to if he were to go through the experience of like a personal family, the way that he would freak out would be very similar to how this Reed Richards in this movie freaked out. I did appreciate the way that he was written, and I'm not a Pedro Pascal hater. I don't have any beef or anything with him. It's just something felt off about this rendition of Reed Richards. It just felt stiff. It felt I couldn't accept it fully. You could probably argue that there's more of a case in other characters than specifically in Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards here. But I'm willing to hear those arguments, and I'm sure that I probably would agree with them. But just for me personally, with this character, that was the one that kind of stuck out to me. Yeah, that's all I got. And I got food. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Do you need me to give it a rating yet, or do you want me to wait till I go?
Yeah.
I still, even with those complaints, I still like the movie a lot. Again, I'm very happy that there was this type of a movie from Marvel. And just them going out on a limb with this style of movie. I feel good and confident giving it an 8 out of 10.
All right. Oh, how you feeling?
So I'll start with my in terms of Fantastic Four movies, 10 out of 10, I guess, because I mean it's easily the best of those powers of shit. But as an overall movie, it's a 7.5 at best. But I mean, in my book, not an 8. I mean, I thought there were great performances from the cast. I actually disagree with you a little bit there. Like Pedro actually won me is really. I didn't think that he could pull it off, but he gave me a solid. Gave me one that was understandable within the. I thought that Sue was great. I thought this is the best rendition of Johnny that they had in Lives. Um, so in character, I thought that Ben was good, but I mean, just the voice not being there for me. I mean, you cannot be a rock person and not have a gravelly voice. Like I feel like that's like a necessity. But I mean, he was the heart and soul of the movie. I mean, which he typically is when it comes to Fantastic Four stuff. So I'm glad that they got the right guy in terms of the energy. But yeah, the voice did not. Um, but the movie itself, like, felt like it felt like nothing, right? It felt like nothing important actually happened. It felt like like this was a filler, like, in things, so you can know that these characters are going to be used later in the verse. But it didn't feel like anything was actually accomplished. Like I saw no real progression of anybody. They were just doing like the only person that got actual character development throughout this was Johnny. And I guess if you want to throw certain there too, like they're all the same person. Ben finally talked to Betty or whatever her name is. I don't. He wasn't important enough to the movie to really matter. They could have given a role, in my opinion.
You talking about the one that Ben was crushing over?
Yeah.
I was kind of glad that she was in there, but at the same time, you're right. Like, she didn't really have a lot of pull. It was just Ben. Honestly, with that, Ben didn't really have much. Like Sue and Richard, they had Franklin. Johnny had the Silver Surfer, and then Ben was just visiting his old stomping grounds, and then saw Shorty. So they try. I think they just tried to give him something in that aspect of that to pull the heartstrings. He did, but they could have done more with that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Like, she deserved to have a bigger role that you can feel a little bit more connected to him. But they just chose to let him be the guide for everybody else, which is like, that's okay, but I mean, make him feel kind of flat in the end. Uh, Aesthetically, Galactus was dope. Like, I mean, comparing it to the Cloud, I mean, this is a 100% upgrade from that. But I feel like they underutilized him. So could have shown him do something. Like, he just was like a basic kaiju fumbling through New York. Galactus is like a planet buster by himself. He doesn't need a machine. So I felt a little underwhelmed by him, if you want to call it a fight. I just call it Push. I don't know if you guys remember that movie, the old fucking Johnny Storm.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I was horrendously underwhelmed by everything. And it felt like it was just an introduction of these characters, and nothing that actually happened mattered because it connect us to anything that is supposed to be coming. I was hyped. I thought it could have been way better. How good the cast actually ended up. But I mean, am I gonna be more of this? They come back around, absolutely. But yeah, 7, definitely a 7, 7 out of 10. Empty calories.
So can we start spoiling? Oh wait, you gotta go. My bad. I said 15 minutes. Go ahead.
I got it at a 9 out of 10. Honestly, I think it's up there with Sinners for me for one of the best movies.
What?
I still haven't.
I knew it was coming.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm gonna let you finish.
I still haven't seen F1. I got to see F1. I heard good things about that one as well, but I think and I got Superman like at an 8, so it's not too far off. It's just I don't know something about it where it screams I can watch this, Johnny, and put my undivided attention to pay money even to do it. But I don't know. A lot of things that stuck out to me was just like the cinematography, the the scenes or the set pieces in which they built and everything like that. They started to take a stance more towards practical effects instead of using CGI all the time, and you can see it like with the spaceship, with other various places, the living room for the Fantastic Four, all of that jazz, and it just looks cleaner that way. The characters, love the characters. I love how they mesh together well. I love all of the acting. To be honest with you, I think in comparison to a film like Superman, Superman kind of it feels like it kind of holds your hand a little bit along the film, and that's not a bad thing. And I think
You
that's
think
why,
Superman holds your hand more than cookie
yeah,
cutter ass story? Are you
yes,
serious? Are
yes,
you serious?
yes.
No, good. It's your turn. You
I think it holds your hand in regards to when something new is introduced. It like gives a thorough explanation as to why it's being introduced, or more of a thorough explanation in comparison to Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four is basically like assuming if you get this, then you get this. But we're not gonna like hold your hand through the process. We're gonna introduce new concepts, and then we're gonna keep moving on. Cause
what new concept did they introduce? Feel your
I
turn.
mean, more so an accurate cosmic element, and more so these characters as a whole. Like we've gotten Fantastic Four in the past, but this obviously wasn't the same Fantastic Four we've gotten in the past couple of films. This is probably the best rendition of it out of all of the other Fantastic Four films. So we got to introduce all of these characters in a way, kind of like Spider-Man: Homecoming or any of these other movies. Like we already know, if you're a comic book fan, you already know where these people come from and their backstory. But how are we gonna make this palatable to a new audience that might not be interested in Fantastic Four or even comic book readers as well? I think it really hit for the older crowd more so than the younger crowd. I think Superman is like a younger audience based film. After seeing a video about it earlier, it just makes sense. And I understand. Like, if you got Superman over this, like I understand completely. I don't agree, but I can see how that's the thing. But 9 out of 10 for me. We have reached the timer actually, so now it's the non-spoiler review. And write this time down. 2350. Alright, since this nigga asked, T, go ahead.
Bruh, the fact I honestly I disagree with Niall on the ending cutscene. That got me hyped because it felt like Thanos again when you're getting these bits and pieces of him showing up, but you don't fully see him just yet. You only saw Doom and you knew it was Doom because of the mask plus the green cloak. And the fact that he just rolled up, no word was said, no nothing, just his ominous presence sitting next to Franklin and playing with him. Doomsday about to go hard. And the fact that before I seen the movie, spoke to Sage about his take on it before we went to go see it. He told me to pay attention to the
That might actually be wrong. I thought it said. Did y'all? All right.
it said Stark. It said Stark.
The pregnancy test that Sue took in the beginning of the film.
It said Stark.
Because somebody said it says Stork on social media. So then I realized, I was like, did I really see Stark? I don't know if I seen an A or an O. I don't know if y'all even paid attention to the brand on the pregnancy test that Sue took.
I saw Stork.
I thought it said Stark. must be. I guess that's why we got the glasses.
And also, why would Tony Stark make a pregnancy test ever?
I think oddly enough, what if Reed Richards, technically, since he's the smartest human in the universe, that nigga would like get him out of everything. Basically, it seems like they live in a peaceful world due to their making, and it's hard to sell weaponry or even get into that if you Tony Stark and coming from his background. I guess if they're doing MCU standards. I'm guessing they would basically X him out of the equation in terms of big, lucrative money making or technology.
So with that being said, I like the moment of what was his name? Moment?
Yep.
Only I'm be honest, only because I was a big fan of Cobra Kai, and him being in that kind of made it much better for me, especially the scene where he's talking smack to Ben, Johnny, and Reed, and he's trying to mac on Sue because at the end of the day, he says, "I trust her," but we all know this man wanted to get at Sue badly, and he was willing to listen to her for them to be able to have the people go down under the city while Galactus was coming for their final stand to try and get rid of him.
That scene was so fucking cheap to me.
It was cheap, but it was still funny. I enjoyed it.
No, just like the whole like them seeing the ceiling cracking as Galactus is something like that. That felt like so 7 years old. Like,
my question is this: do you feel with Mo-Man like digging underneath the ground that Galactus should have fell through with his weight?
Yeah, probably.
Because honestly, that was one thing that kind of popped in my mind during that scene as he's walking through New York City, and he's stepping, and we know Galactus is this giant individual. When he steps, that's a lot of weight being put down on the ground, especially when you have tunnels being dug under. How good is the like concrete to hold him up from being able to fall through? Because if you think about it, he should have fell through at least at some point, especially when he was getting knocked back in the process when Sue was pushing him.
All right, how you talk about this shit making me want to hate this shit now? You talk about concrete in a superhero film?
No, it's a lot of things you got to think about. Like with that scene with the moment when they went underground, it like literally that's a thought that kind of popped in my head. I could care less about it, but it's like a thought that I had. One big thing is I did like Franklin having his moment at the end. You're being able to see, because Galactus said he hides his power from you, and Reed is just trying to figure it out to see like why can't he see like whatever kind of power his son has, and for him to be able to save his mother, showing that a mother's love, she was willing to sacrifice everything for her son. She wasn't about to give him up for anything, but Reed was ready to, because Reed made the point, I only think about bad things so I can learn to resolve them, which kind of hits home because that's what scientists or people in the government really think about, because they got to do conflict resolution with a lot of things that could happen with a lot of scenarios. And I really like how they really let Johnny shine with his linguistics, because like was said earlier, in the other two iterations, like you never really got to see that. He was always some like romanticizing lover boy, trying to bag every female. They tried to paint that for a second, but then they actually gave his moment to shine to be like, you know what? Reed got a lot on his plate. I'm going to figure out this language. And for him to have that moment with Silver Surfer to get her to turn tail and get out of there and not destroy anything else.
Talk no jutsu.
Yeah, talking no jutsu, yes. Because we all know they wasn't stopping Silver Surfer. Especially they had to use a black hole to stop her, or to delay her per se. I like the way they got out of trouble. I didn't like the Galactus just push him and Johnny was about to sacrifice himself, which honestly I didn't understand why Johnny would go ahead and sacrifice himself. I get it though, because that's what superheroes might end up doing. But
nephew, man.
I understand that's his nephew, but his father is ready to sacrifice him and use him as bait right from the get go.
That was the only way.
That's the thing. I understand it was the only way, but before they even got to that point, Reed was already thinking about using his son before they finalized on that idea on what they were going to do. And Sue wasn't having it. But overall, yeah, I like the cutscenes. I even like the last one because it was for the hardcore fans that really like Fantastic Four for them to have that theme, which is cool.
I feel like
So,
some of those. Oh, go ahead.
what do you feel like them like actually like mean and like progress the MC at all? Just Franklin being
Well, Franklin being born had to kind of progressed it because we know what Galactus wanted, which is leading to Doom showing up at the ending cutscene. Nothing, I'm gonna be honest, nothing in this movie moved the needle until that cutscene. Nothing moved the needle until that cutscene. If that cutscene didn't happen, it would literally be Deadpool Wolverine all over again. A good movie with no needle pusher.
I think it does a lot in the micro and macro scale. I think it does a lot in regards to the characters.
I mean, good movie. I also feel Deadpool.
You say you felt what, Otis?
Yeah, that's also like a 7.5.
Yeah, but my thing is, if we didn't get Doctor Doom in that cutscene, it doesn't move the needle. It doesn't at all, because if you look at the end of Thunderbolts, they showed the Fantastic Four. And my question was, is that the scene where they're like slingshotting through space to get back to their world? Like, is that supposed to be that scene? Like, they just popped up in 626 in that moment?
No, cause in regards to like the character, this is what I mean by like it doesn't hold your hand. Like, we get bits and pieces of character development, or even the potential for character development in a multitude of fashions throughout the movie. We got the introspective nature of the Thing after he transforms. We know that it's there. They showed the brief scene where they show him looking at himself on the TV, how he looked when he was a human or in human form, and then the TV shut off and all he could see was his reflection as his form that he is in now. We know that they're gonna have to touch upon that, especially because he's in a universe right now that generally accepts them because they are superheroes. In essential, damn near they're gods. How they was praising them in this universe. Nobody's gonna look at him differently just because he's a Thing. Everybody thinks that he's cool. He's a great person for the neighborhood. All of that bullshit. Imagine he's in a different universe, and that triggers people to treat him with more animosity than they would in his current universe. Now you got an opportunity to use that character development in a later film and up the stakes. Now you have the opportunity.
Yeah, but like within a movie, you're supposed to develop your character to some degree, not set up like development things, right? Like it should be like a self-contained arc for any of the characters present. And it wasn't.
I kind of disagree though, because even at that, we see how timid the Thing is throughout the whole entire movie until he builds up the courage
To walk in a church and say hi and then do nothing else.
Hey, that's the thing. The nigga is very self-conscious. I mean,
she already came up to him and talked. She already said a higher president that he was willing to back. He didn't even reciprocate what she was willing to do.
Yeah, but it's like any superhero don't want somebody getting close to them and potentially endangering them. And for whatever reason, the Thing feels that way a lot. It looks like, from what I could tell in comics.
His counterparts are Johnny Storm, who is in everybody's bedroom all the time, and a couple.
I don't know. I think Johnny had a character development growth as well.
Yeah, he did.
He did. He
I
did.
think Sue had character development as well in regards to
She was
no.
pregnant and then she was.
Reed had a
she has
character
a plethora.
development. Reed
She
had a
has a
character
plethora,
development,
she
not
has a
her.
plethora of character developments because even though how Reed is, she's still dealing with that, understands that that's pivotal to what they need. One, and the character development of potentially Malice coming into fold later on down the line. And now we get a Malice version of Sue Storm. The craziest
That's
niggas ever.
setup. That's not development. Those are different things.
I feel like part of the setup is the development. I mean, we got to know where the Jones is going, type of thing, right? That's just me. I don't know. I could be wrong. I very well could be wrong. But I think that was that. Even the micro scale for Galactus too, though. They didn't kill him. They didn't destroy him or anything like that. We know he's gonna
What?
come back at some point in time. We know he's gonna come back at some point in time, and now you could use him for an even bigger storyline. Probably add in additional.
They're gonna
characters.
use him in a sense where Doom is going to kill him. That's literally what they're going to use him.
I'm talking about after Secret Wars.
I don't see that.
I see that loud and clear. It's one of the Fantastic Four main villains. They never took care of him. If they wanted to get rid of him, they have killed so many people, so many villains off.
But
that
but here's the thing: what better way to start building up Doom being this big bad than have him one? They're already talking about bringing Jonathan Majors back as Kang. Let him defeat the Council of Kangs, and also have him defeat Galactus.
But that's not to say that Galactus is not coming back after Secret Wars because he's a part of the multiverse. He needs to come back.
Nah, I don't see it.
He's a multiversal consonant. Every multiverse in Marvel at least has to have either, I don't know if it's some iterations where it's just one Galactus in the multiverse or just iteration where it's a Galactus in every universe. He's a part of that, just like I'm pretty sure the rest of the Celestials and all of that jazz. But they do things for a reason. It's not like that's like Superman killing Lex Luthor in this first film. We know if they did that, obviously they're not using this nigga no more unless he go to the Ra's al Ghul pit and get resurrected or some shit. But they tucked him off to the side just so they could bring him back and use him again.
Yeah, no, I can see that, but at the same time, it's like, what better way to like I said, to make Doom feel like this all powerful big bad for these next two coming movies? Have him defeat Galactus. It may be the 828 Galactus that he defeats, but yeah, you can bring back Galactus later on, but at least have him defeat one of them.
He don't even got to do that, to be honest with you. We could talk about some leakers and spoilers as well if y'all know.
Otis, you got anything else before he gets into leaks and spoilers?
No specific. No, I think we covered what I mean. Good setup, but I'll give it that. But it does not feel like a.
Okay.
I feel you. I can understand. All right. So I'm trying to actually pull up pictures. Over the weekend, Robert Downey did his Robert Downey thing and dropped some pictures on his Instagram, alluding to some of the material that he's been reading in order to get prepared for his Doom role. Where is this? There it is. All right. One of the joints was the infamous Marvel superhero Secret Wars. I'm pretty sure that's the first iteration that they ever dropped. That's when they all get transported to Battle World by the Beyonder. I'm actually in the process of reading it right now. It's a dope story so far. I thought I wouldn't be interested in the old school artwork, but it's not too bad. And then he dropped the Iron Man Legion or Legacy of Doom, my bad, where it's a storyline where Iron Man and Doom actually face. Doctor Doom manipulates him to comes to Hell to battle Mephisto. and I guess he made a bargain with Mephisto that's gonna take everything from him in the process. Something along that lines from Doctor Doom, and him and Iron Man have to work together to defeat the monster that Mephisto sends into the realm. Um, I'm thinking, and I could be this is crazy headcanon, but I really think they're going down the line of Doctor Doom is gonna transplant his consciousness to a Tony Stark, or even I can't remember what it's called from Doctor Strange. When he traveled to another version of yourself
Sort of like what
in
Wanda
the
did.
universe. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. It's a specific term, moonwalking or dream walking or something like that. I can't remember. Something along that lines. What if he does that? If he does have the capabilities to be able to do that after, because we already know Reed already knows about the multiverse. He talked about it briefly when he was teaching the kids in the class in this film. So I'm pretty sure Doctor Doom also knows about the multiverse, and that's why every time we seen Latveria, their leader was never there the two times that was shown in the movie.
So is Latveria Doom?
Latveria is Doom.
Yes, that's his country.
Yeah, rules over Latveria, and it's a lot of speculation that this Doom is obviously coming from the same universe as the Fantastic Four. So a lot of people are speculating during that time. One, both of these comics have crazy implications, I guess you'd say, in regards to Tony dropping them. Either they're dealing with the actual story content and they're taking inspiration from that, or not. But it seems like they are. And I believe in Secret Wars, Doom actually repurposes Galactus's ship and gains power from it based off of all the celestial technology that is at his disposal. And oddly enough, in the Fantastic Four universe, you got a Galactus ship just floating above Earth's orbit right now, chilling, because the nigga never got his ship back, at least from what we could tell.
Okay.
So this gives the opportunity for Doom to be able to gather that power, and that's how he's at least more OP to be able to take everybody else's power that he needs to be able to accomplish his mission. But in that 4-year time skip, or in that time when Doom was not there that we couldn't see, I believe he was traveling through the multiverse, figuring out all these things and figured out how important Tony Stark is, at least to that specific universe, the main timeline. And people were talking about maybe get his body after he snaps in an odd manner, I guess, and to be able to transplant his consciousness to his body, or even dreamwalk after. I don't know. Doctor Doom is a sorcerer, and he's fired with technology. That nigga could do all sorts of things. But at some point in time, it gets to he transplants his consciousness to a Tony Stark, and that's why RDJ is Doctor Doom.
I personally don't think that Marvel thought into. They'll probably just come up with something cheap and brains.
Damn.
Yeah, this is a variant Tony Stark, but that had sex with a Latvian woman in it. Like, it's gonna be cheap. Like, that's what they do. They repeatedly like find ways to, like, undermine people's expectations.
Well, that's Nintendo for you. I mean, that's Marvel for you.
I think they could do it. I mean, the Russo brothers never really. Have they really let us down?
Did you watch Endgame?
Mm-mm.
I don't know what you're saying about Endgame.
It was also a waste of time. The only relevant part of the last 30.
I don't know. A waste of time.
You sound
What you
hurt.
rate Endgame?
You sound hurt.
What you rate Endgame?
Like a 6?
Damn, I had a feeling it was 6.
Rob over there hurting right now.
But I mean, Infinity War is still the best Marvel movie. Better than that.
Marvel is about to stop these checks they've been sending me, man. The propaganda is not working. Marvel, give me more funds. I'll be able to boost up the propaganda a lot more.
No, they
Or
won't.
just like
Uh,
give like the right, like you give the like director more control for one, and like actually get directors that like know how to write.
I feel you. I think they've been making a step in the right direction. I guess Jake Schreier from Thunderbolts is gonna be
They've been
doing.
playing it safe the last like
Mm.
everything just cookie cutter. Like oh we wrap this up smooth. Like there's no mystery. There's no like depth. It's just things happen, and the guy. Guess we'll see next time.
So are you saying like you would like more connectivity within the films? Like,
I want actual stakes. I want movies that feel like they're actually something to, I don't know, look forward to.
mhm.
Mm.
And you felt like those stakes were President Superman. This is not a dig or anything. I'm just
State. I mean, this is the first time we ever seen men actually have a threat on action.
Man of Steel.
Talking about Zod, who
Yeah.
somehow planned ahead, had more numbers, and still lost to a dude that just learned how to use his powers like 4 weeks.
He got his powers that early in the film?
I mean, he didn't actually start like being Superman until like basically the start of the movie. Like he had his powers when he was a kid that he like had to hide. Actually using his powers and like a good Superman. He wasn't that yet.
Mm.
This is a basically a veteran Superman that actually like was taking L's and needed help. That's more stakes to me. Like Galactus is obviously the stronger. Like like there's no question that Galactus is strong enough to beat the Fantastic Four on his own.
Mm-hmm.
But considering that our landing point is for connecting the Fantastic, the rest of the greater is them appearing in the Thunderbolt in a slightly destroyed ship, floating in space. Like the fact that Galactus wasn't the instrument to get there, that his presence meant nothing in the greater development of Marvel Universe. I at the very least thought that he was gonna actually end up destroying that Earth, and they had to run up in 616. That would have been a better movie to me.
Mm.
Like,
Ended
I'm
on
not gonna
a
lie.
ended
I
on
can
a
agree.
bad note. Ended on a
I can
bad
agree.
note to set up something greater for Doomsday and everything.
yeah,
Yeah, so pretty much give it the Infinity War treatment where it ends like sad and destructive, and the superheroes don't win at the end of the day at that point, but they do win later on
yeah,
to give
I
you
would love
wanting
that.
more.
What if they're waiting to do that in Spider-Man since that's the movie right before Doomsday?
They're gonna do that in Doomsday. Doomsday is the movie where they're like having, and then they're gonna come back with the weak ass Secret Wars. It's gonna be watered down from what actually happened in the comic, and it's gonna be acceptable to everybody and have really great action. And everybody's gonna like take it as like, oh, this is the ever because Marvel gave us exactly what we expected to happen again.
Mm.
Marvel, fight back, fight back. Meow. Right now, I guess it's doing okay too in the box office.
Doing great in the box office. That's what Marvel movies do.
Yeah. Not as good as like other titles, but I don't know. I think they're gonna, depending on how they do this Spider-Man. It seems like they're looking to go more comic book accurate route, and the more they do that, I feel like the closer they'll go to reaching those stakes that you are asking for.
What
Not gonna
stakes
lie.
exist in the comics? People die and then come back in the next run.
I guess like different storylines could really impact that, like Annihilation Wave. I've been reading that. It seems like the stakes is super high with that in comparison. Probably Axe Judgment Day as well. Other things, obviously, we know people are gonna come back. Like even Secret Wars, though, you have a little bit of stakes if you just take your mind out of how it's gonna end, or people got to come back. They just not about to kill off their whole entire universe and stop making content. Like it's
Yeah, they're gonna
interesting.
kill off all the other multiverses and go down to the like they. That's how Secret Wars. Spoiler alert.
I think they might bring back that multiverse. 'Cause
Hmm?
technically, we need the multiverse because if they're doing the supernatural route and Mephisto is gonna be their big bad for the supernatural, technically he lives in a different universe if I'm not mistaken, which is
It's a
called
different plane of existence. They'll keep those separate. Like, everything magical from the actual technical side of Marvel.
Mm-hmm. At what point do we get to see some of these TV show characters come into play? Like, do you think we'll see Daredevil in the Spider-Man 4 movies since we're getting Punisher?
no.
And do we get
Probably.
Riri in Secret Wars at least? Since she did make the deal with Mephisto.
I don't think she's gonna be in Secret Wars. I think she might be more inclined to be in the Midnight Suns because of the Mephisto aspect. Supposedly they
I
already
agree.
got a.
But does she show up in the Midnight Suns comics?
I don't believe so. I don't necessarily know off the
Then
top of
what
my
wouldn't
head
make any sense to have her in there?
because she's made a deal with Mephisto.
Like
But
her making a deal with Mephisto is also.
what'd you say?
What'd
Oh,
you say?
you said
I said her making a deal with Mephisto isn't in the comics either.
Yeah. So
yeah,
All
but
right.
but my thing is like, does her okay? But what does the deal, the her making the deal with Mephisto make sense for her to be in Midnight Suns? That's what I'm trying to
so she
get.
can get the so she
Because it
can
made that
get
sense
all
usually
of
deal
them.
with the supernatural element of Marvel.
Yeah. And
But does okay? So she makes the deal in the comics, but what at what point
no, she doesn't.
she
She
doesn't make the
doesn't make
deal?
the deal.
No,
No.
that never happens in the comics.
Yeah.
But at the same time, did she really make the deal, or like is it one of
She
those
made
moments
the
the way
deal.
that
The black veins are coming out of her arm. She made that motherfucking deal. Her friend came back from the dead. She made the deal. And now they have the opportunity to do something that's not in the comics, but possibly use storylines from the Midnight Suns to be able to make it happen. And then you add on Ghost Rider, which allegedly, supposedly, has just been casted, but they're not releasing the name for it. Again, allegedly. You got Blade about to be in production, I believe, next year, they said. So we got that. I already know about the poop on that one, but that's already
I mean,
that's already two people right there.
I'm just wondering if that will come out first or GTA.
GTA most definitely come out first. Blade gonna come out probably 2027, 2028 latest.
We're gonna see.
and GTA might get pushed back again another 3 years.
I don't think so. I think aren't they supposed to release it next year?
It's supposed to. It
It was
was supposed to be
released
released at the end of
this
this
year.
year. It got pushed back to next year.
Yeah, I can understand the year. They ain't about to do another couple.
Bruh,
years.
it was
Look at
supposed to
what
come
you
out
said.
earlier this year, and it got pushed back to late this year, and then it's getting pushed back to next year. Rockstar's going to have some excuse why they got to push it back.
I can understand the year. If
They
do
probably.
another
I
year,
feel like they
gonna
waiting
miss
for
out.
another system.
Yeah.
They
They
might
trying to
be.
get it close. They trying
They
to get
waiting
it
to get
close
closer.
to the next
Yeah.
system.
They already talking about PlayStation 6.
I mean, look how much money the last time they did that it made them. They literally was able to
I'll
sell the
wait for it on
game on
PC.
3
I'm
different
good.
systems.
I'll wait for it on
Yeah, see
PC.
the PlayStation 6 is coming out potential release in late 2027 to 2028.
So
So
that's when we'll get GTA.
they try and get it so they could do the old consoles and the new consoles, double up on their profits, like
Yeah,
like the
they're
whole
gonna
ass
put it out the
niggas did.
same year as the release at the beginning of the year. That way you play a little bit on PS5 and
Get the
Uh,
PS6.
one, I know y'all wrapped up with the Fantastic Four. One thing that I will say, I want to see. I know how you feel, Sage, but I kind of want to see how the others feel. I know a lot of people with and I do think that Marvel had a successful year, but I do personally
successful
still
year
have
putting out
my.
3 mid.
Yeah, listen, in comparison to let's we had Ant-Man, we had the Marvels, we had Eternals, we had, like, in comparison to a lot of the other stuff that was coming out, this was a better slate. It wasn't a perfect slate, but it was a better slate than the slates that they had previously. I still feel like I'm not at the point where I'm like, oh, the MCU is solid and I can rest my shoulders. I feel like, for me personally, I need to get past this multiverse saga and see exactly how they translate things into content after this saga is done, because I feel like right now it's too much of a reliance on things that have worked in the past. I feel like Robert Downey Jr. is a cop out for them not really knowing what they did this specific saga. And I think they gonna have to come strong in the X-Men saga. Like, it's I want to see fresh stories, good stories. I want to see younger casting. I want to see the execution done in a way where it feels like, okay, this is a continuation of the universe, not them trying to prolong the universe that existed before, with actors who now have either aged out of portraying these roles or just no longer want to portray these roles. What do y'all think about that?
I mean, I don't think
Hmm.
there's anything wrong about what you. I
Yeah.
don't think that they've like given us anything or like innovative to the space in a while. I would like to
Yeah.
see them try again. Um, yeah, that's just what it is. Like
Yeah, it just don't feel like it's
new. It's
yeah,
just them
like
playing it safe and doing what they know works so they can get their little bit of money.
yeah. And it's like, I get it. Like, I'm sure that there's a lot of pressure coming from Disney. Like, yo, y'all we need you to make this type of money. And I understand where that can kind of make Kevin Feige and different people at Marvel feel backed in the corner, but I don't think trying to just sell us something that, because that we like it, is going to be enough to keep like things going. I think people are already starting to get fatigued from a lot of the material that's coming out in the comic book world, and you need to be thinking of how this content can evolve. For the people back in the day, like Martin Scorsese, who was saying like, oh, this is weak content, you kind of proven them right with the stuff that we've been getting over the last couple years. I understand there's optimism, but you can't we gotta do a better job of just trying to evolve the content, so that way we could look at statements that have been made in the past about these movies and say, well, we told you that this wasn't true. We told you that these movies could evolve into something even grander. I think that's why, like, I know Joker 2 was terrible, but
So terrible.
I did like Joker. I did like that Joker 1 kind of pushed back a little bit on, like, all right, nah, like, yeah, I understand it's all out of Dark Knight. We know we've seen success with Dark Knight. We've seen tremendous success with the Dark Knight series, but I was happy to see that there was something that wasn't the Dark Knight series, even if it was a Batman character, that was able to kind of show like, nah, like, look, there could be more depth to these movies. I just would like to see that more in Marvel's realm. I think that there are stories, there are characters that could draw those things. We just gotta try to draw those things out of these said characters. I just don't feel like we are. And the
Yeah,
thing is, it can't
D-
all be Robert Downey Jr.
DC has been giving us depth. They've been giving us, the Peacemakers, the
Yeah,
Creature
but they
Commandos.
Yeah, but it's been we just kind of getting it now. I will say this. I was on the fence with James Gunn in that, and I admit that was likely a mistake on my behalf, because I think when I look at what James Gunn has done, like with Creature Commandos, with this, even the Suicide Squad, the iteration that he had, and as well as that now with Superman, I feel like he's potentially going to be moving these characters into a better direction. Like, I know a lot of people might not be excited for Clayface, but I think if he lets the right people like, if he just kind of takes a step back and doesn't necessarily have to have his imprint on everything, and he lets the right people direct these things and kind of have the freedoms that they want, that movies like Clayface could potentially be really good. I think Lanterns could potentially be good, and it could be a different take to how we typically have seen a superhero movie. I want to give him a chance. I do. I really do want to give him a chance now. I'm going to try my best to not be too critical. I always loved the DC stories. I always had a close place in my heart. So I'm going to give him a chance, and I want to feel good about DC. Marvel has had more success, but it's just, what direction are we going into now? I understand a lot of this stuff is catered to children, but that does not mean that you can't tell a great story just because it's catered to children. We see it in anime all the time. They will have things that are geared towards children. They're expecting children to buy these things in Japan. They have them in the children slots in their series that we talk about on a extremely larger level, even as adults. Examples of this, like One Piece as an example. I know everybody isn't necessarily the biggest lover of One Piece, but the depth that One Piece is able to go into with their world building, with their characters. I mean, if any, I don't know. You into One Piece, right?
It's all right.
Okay. If anybody out there that is a One Piece fan, you could take the most recent animation arc right now that's happening. It's good storytelling. It invokes emotion. It advances character plots. It introduces it not only does that, but it's able to introduce characters, and in the same arc that they're introducing characters, they're able to flesh them out in ways that actually have meaningful impacts on whoever is the viewer. And you don't have to just be a child to be able to appreciate it. In fact, I think a lot of this stuff you can even say there's a good amount of stuff that probably will go over a child's head. But the point that I'm trying to make is that they're able to tie it all together. Whereas that's where I'm not seeing that cohesiveness out of Marvel right now. And I would like to see that in Marvel. I want them to take that step. X-Men is a great opportunity for that, in my opinion.
I mean, I got to push back on some of that. So I
Okay.
think that the cohesion of One Piece is very well done, but like the execution is acceptable. Like it's okay. Like they
Okay.
do have some really good moments that they build up to, but the fact that it takes you 400 issues to get from one major plot point to the next one. I mean, no, that's not
Yeah,
completely
I get
true.
that.
Like during they've had a pretty solid run, but saying that like you're not gonna tell me all of Dressrosa was meaningful. You're not gonna tell me that all of
Not
Punk
every arc,
Hazard,
no.
you know, I didn't give a fuck about Rebecca's backstory, and I didn't need a flashback within the flashback to see her dad's backstory and her own backstory. Like how
Mm-hmm.
like yeah, like you said, One Piece does it well, but I can't give them the top tier with that. But I think a better example of telling good, and also saying that's a good story for children. I don't think children's gonna understand like 77% of one. Like all the stuff with the celestial
It's
dragons
so
and how they
much.
control the
Yeah, it's a
marines. Like
lot.
a kid is not gonna pick that up. I think a better example would probably be like Pixar. I think Pixar does a really good job at telling kids
That's a good
stories.
point. Yeah, another Disney property.
Yeah,
Another Disney property. In fact, oh, I love that because you're keeping it within. Let's not even go to another country. Let's just stick within content that's made here. Pixar, they have that. They have a history of being able to make movies that can tell great stories, that can flesh great characters out, that also can be geared towards kids. It's a great example.
yeah.
Why can't we get that with Marvel?
Because they're so worried about trying to maintain greater continuity in the mind of Kevin Feige instead of actually like taking a big swing and making a movie that actually like takes some risk. Like every movie feels so formulaic at this point, and I'm trying to like I'm trying to find ways to enjoy that, but like you can't keep giving me the exact same thing and keep like it feels like Call of Duty. Like that's what these movies feel like. Like you're giving me the same thing with new bells and whistles on it, calling it something new. Like
Yeah, they need a jump. They need a jump, man. They need an evolution. The stories is there. Sage, you read the comic books. I know you do. You know some of the depth that you're able to get out of these comic books. They need to be able to translate that into this live action content that we getting. You read Hickman's work. You reading the goats too. You read Hickman's work. You know.
I think it's oddly enough, I just think it's the business. The same way how James Gunn makes creative decisions such as changing the backstory, I guess, of Superman, or at least his parents type of thing. Um and like I can only agree about the ending. Like it would have been fire if Galactus actually destroyed their Earth and in essence destroys their universe, and then they have to go to another one, and that's where they come in the main timeline. Like I can agree with that. Um, I think they have been leaning more so into taking the leaps, especially right now. In the last couple of years, no, you got me there. It was only a couple of majority of the films were okay, and some of them were good slash great. But it was a lot of stinkers in there where you're just like, man, what the fuck is this? So I can understand. I guess they're moving in the right direction. I think everybody in this panel likes Thunderbolts as a movie, likes the direction that it was going in. Kind of self-contained. You didn't have to do homework in order to understand it per se. Um, and that director, the director of that movie, is directing X-Men, and I think he was really able to get trauma from other people, from a lot of people within a given scene or within a given team type of thing. So I think that's in good hands. Depending on what they do with Blade is up in the air. Yeah, got me there. I think Spider-Man though, Destin Daniel Cretton, who directed Shang-Chi, I think they're really focusing now on the people that do take this serious, that actually do read the comics, that think of fun new twisting ways to do this. And I kind of agree with telling Kevin Feige to make a little bit more leaps of faith, I guess you say, in regards to the possible story elements or where the stories go. You can't have, I guess, the heroes. I guess in this day and age, you can't have it in the comics where the heroes win basically most of the time, if not a 90% clip rate. You got to have a lot more in order for people to still be invested. You got to have a lot more stakes. You got to have a lot more people, I'm guessing, dying. Um, I feel like right now a perfect time Nova. If they would have dropped a Nova movie and they knocked it out the park, I think this would have been a perfect time to introduce him. But I think they're waiting for the
Yeah,
cosmic side of things
I
more.
don't. I ain't gonna lie to you. I agree with you in that. I would have loved Nova in this saga. That's the big thing too. Is like multiverse. I would have thought we would have had more emphasis in regards to the content that we got around like yes, there is multiversal things happening throughout the saga. I'm not trying to say they didn't do anything, but it would have been nice if we could have went more outer space. Because when we get to X-Men, you yet is there a path to kind of going more outer space, seeing different worlds, seeing different things in the larger universe and multiverse? Yes, there is definitely an opportunity for that can be presented in X-Men. But the multiversal saga, that just seemed like the perfect time for us to start. And that's the thing. Go hit up what's his name? John Favreau, who do he? That's the guy that do Star Wars, right? He
Epic.
did Clone
Yeah.
Wars,
Hmm.
bro. He know how to get that whole space opera popping. We couldn't go grab him. He with the same company, and he been happy.
I,
He,
I
come
I think that's the
on,
direction they're
bro.
going now. I don't know. They was
I
already
don't know.
discombobulated to begin with, but it seems like now they're understanding where they fucked up and being like, all right, we're doubling down on it. We should have done more supernatural shit once we introduced Doctor Strange. But we introduced Doctor Strange, and that was practically it outside of a Moon Knight show that most people probably don't like and haven't watched it, or some people that watched it just wasn't amused by it. And then that was practically it outside of Doctor Strange 1, Doctor Strange 2, the little bit of magic elements in Spider-Man, but that's really not too much magic elements to really give a fuck about. um they could have did more with the cosmic side. They could have did more with the X-Men side, but the rights issue thing and everything like that, eh, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place. They couldn't use characters probably that they wanted to use because of the rights issues, because of getting them back into the fold and the years long process that takes. So they were probably excited as hell to use it, or even in a sense for Kevin Feige when he wanted to use Green Goblin. Like Sony was like, no, nigga, we're not gonna let you use Green Goblin. Not until the third movie that they made with Tom Holland. It was like, all right, you can use Green Goblin, but you can't get a new one, nigga. Use this old one that we had from fucking the Sam Raimi Spider-Man that we made and be happy with it. Like, they kind of had, they were stuck between a rock and a hard place in some instances, which I can understand why that and the pushing, needless pushing of superhero content down our throats, pause, that really brought on the fatigue. But I think
Mhm.
now they have successfully planted their foot in the right direction to go forward and then be able to take those leaps. I'm hoping for Spider-Man and for Doomsday and Secret Wars.
We shall see.
Yep.
My question to
If
you,
it keep
Sage.
getting better, that's the goal.
My question to you, though,
Mm-hmm.
not for us comic book, but for the average, casual MCU fan.
Mm-hmm.
After seeing all this do you think they'll be okay with street level friendly Spider-Man
A
and the
street level friendly.
Defenders?
Oh my bad. You saying like they're gonna do? Do you think they'll be comfortable doing those storylines?
No, I'm saying, do you think they're gonna care? Like, I just
Oh,
saw a big, literally, a multiple universe. Well, they're gonna see that with the throughout Civil War. He's like, yeah, now go fight this thug that just robbed.
I think oddly enough, now that they're stopping the needless dropping of content and they're actually taking their time fleshing out the complete direction of the phase instead of just releasing content so much so that it's like homework. I think now that they're taking their time, it'll be a lot easier to pinpoint specific heroes that you don't necessarily have to have a multiversal or universal concept in their storyline. I'm pretty sure Blade is not that big of a character where he's multiversal outside of him probably traveling to hell or I don't know if the vampires got another universe or dimension. I don't know all of that, but you got that. Black Panther usually doesn't go universal or multiversal, I don't believe. You got the Spider-Mans. And I think you can see that even with the rumors that we were hearing where Kevin Feige and the MCU really wanted a grounded street level Spider-Man film, but Sony was the one that wanted to do the multiversal aspects, even though we just had one in the past Spider-Man film, and that's the reason why they can't release no good fucking films because they just thinking they're going for the money grab.
Mm.
And that showed me at least, or started to show me one of the signs where I was like, all right, Marvel seems to be in the right direction. They understand what the fans want. They understand what's important as well. You need to have both. You need to be able to teeter both and not just have universal scale opponents or traveling throughout the space. That's why Guardians of the Galaxy was so good because it was one of the only films of that genre that was releasing in the MCU, if I'm not mistaken, besides Thor, possibly. Everybody else was a grounded type of film.
Mm.
So it's just trying to find that balance, and I think they're going to get back to that. They were able to do it before. I'm pretty sure they can figure out a way to do it now. And even back then, all of them films wasn't shit. I promise you, to this day, I have yet to see Thor all the way through. I have yet to see Thor: The Dark World all the way through. I don't even know if that's the first one or the second one.
That's the second one.
Second, yeah.
I've yet to see both of those movies all the way through. The only movie I've seen of Thor all the way through, and
Ragnarok.
I enjoyed it somewhat, Ragnarok. The only one. Everything else. So I mean, it's like hits and misses with that old one. Obviously, the hits though, and those first couple phases was some fucking hits.
I disagree. I think it was mostly men too.
Whoa.
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 The good movies are Infinity War, Captain America: Winter Soldier. I guess probably Iron Man 1, Guardians 1. Everything else was like mid.
Civil War, Doctor
And
Strange?
honestly, War was okay. Doctor Strange was
I
acceptable.
can't say Black Panther. You gonna shit on Ryan Coogler? I already know.
Oh, no. So, again, Black Panther is a great movie.
Say that again.
It's 3/4 of a great movie.
3/4 of a great movie. Out of
It's the last part. The last part.
It's the Coogler staple.
So what's the rating on it then? Out of 10, what you got?
It's still like a. I want to give it an 8. How great some of
The 7
But
sounded like
like-
it was just ready to roll off the tongue.
It's like, yeah, bro, it's like 7.5. 7.5.
He said that shit twice. He was like, I could possibly give it an 8. Nah, never mind. 7.5.
It's like, I mean, I love Killmonger, but I mean, another character that you threw away unnecessarily.
Yeah,
like
that's getting annoying. I do agree with that. That is getting annoying. You why do these characters have to be completely like wiped away?
Would y'all be okay if they did the Lex Luthor route to all of their villains?
What do you
Yeah,
mean by that?
So like save him at the end of the film, not save him, but beat him up, and then he goes to jail. We know he's gonna come back.
Or you mean like Joker from Batman?
oh, I gotta chill.
What? Didn't
Yeah,
did
yeah.
he kill Joker and Batman?
No,
Anytime, but he never killed a Joker. He always puts him to jail and he gets out. That's how I was saying.
Did
Okay,
no in
yeah.
the Dark Knight though? Did he?
Yeah. Did he? Didn't
He
he?
fell
right?
off the building, right?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken.
But did we see it? Did we see him?
More than seeing the one, I see nuance. I want to see situations.
No, I'm not talking about the. But that's the thing. I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about the Dark Knight.
You're just talking about the Joker.
In
period, when he
general,
goes to jail and he
Batman
comes back.
puts him in jail and he comes back. That's what you're talking about. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about in general of the.
Yeah, you could have. I mean,
Christian
what's
Bale,
wrong
that's
with
what I'm
locking
saying.
them away? Like, what's wrong with like? I'll give you an example in the Eternals comic book, right? Sage, you know this. Big Dog, Thanos' grandpa.
Mhm.
They locked him away for years. And you just reuse them. You can reuse them. You could bring them back when it's a perfect opportune moment. You just had them under heavy security for years. They could do that with characters. They don't have to
Or give
Cool.
us some nuance. Give us some scenarios where the villain. Give us scenarios where the hero.
Where the
Give us
hero
scenarios
loses
where
for a
the
second.
hero team and they have to help each other. The hero lets them. You saved a lot of people, so I'll get you next time. But something.
Yeah. Just
But I
another
don't need the
scenario
same
besides
thing
this
over.
one. Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna think more on that now because O said that's the running theme for a lot of the content, and I don't think that he's wrong. I feel like I've seen more of that in more recent works personally, but I'm sure if I thought about it and looked back, I probably could see it all throughout the MCU. But just going off of that theme alone, yeah, it's definitely like why is it always the same things? Rinse, cycle, repeat. Same thing every time. Wow.
Do you think they satisfied that in Ironheart?
No, they wrapped up the villain.
Technically, she's a part of the villain now, though. I mean,
But
Do you mean the
villain of
villain?
that
Do you
series
mean
was
the villain as Mephisto or the Hood?
I'm
the
talking
Hood.
about
I mean, they took the Hood from the Hood. Now he's just a regular dude.
That's about to learn magic.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing with Mephisto, I gotta see how that play out more. Ain't no telling. They could not use that again and then just Riri come back like, oh, I had a battle. We never. That's why I keep trying to say to you, I'm like, bro, you cannot think that like it's guaranteed that these characters is coming back. We have had no reason to feel like they guaranteed to come back. If Doom is only for these 2 movies and then Doom is on the show for 10 years, it would not for a second surprise me. No.
When was the last time you seen Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi.
I watched it like last week, I believe.
Oh,
no, I'm talking about the character.
The character?
Oh.
Shang-Chi.
Years. It's been years.
It hasn't been that long though.
Yes, it has.
Yeah, it has.
It has.
When did it release? It dropped 4 years ago, y'all.
Still, we haven't seen
when
him
was
for
the
a long
last time
time.
you seen him?
We about to see him next year. 5 years.
Shang-Chi drops
They
next
could
year.
use more, but like going
He's
back to
gonna
the
be
example
in
with
Doomsday.
that, like, but to give you an example, the idea of you have this character, right? Before we get to an Avengers level movie, right? You got Shang-Chi. You also have a character like Spider-Man who uses like that movement and combat that could be similar. You could easily introduce a Shang-Chi in a Spider-Man film. The fact that it's never crossed their mind to say
think
we
it
already
has.
used them. They haven't done it.
But I
And
mean,
there's
do that
and
too.
when you
they doing Punisher and the Hulk. I mean, they can't do everybody in the film.
No, I mean they do that all. Like, when was the last time there was a solo Captain America movie?
The first one, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they put other characters in other.
that's true. They did it with Bucky. They did, yeah, that's true. But
I mean,
here's
they
the thing:
introduced
the
Black
ones.
Widow.
But this the thing is, the point that I'm trying to make is, there's still these characters who are left out for years, like Shang-Chi, right? Where instead of having them just on the sidelines, why can't we utilize them?
Where's Kate Bishop?
Last time we saw her was the Hawkeye
Marvels.
series. The
Ending cutscene of the Marvels. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, like why? Why do they got to be on the sidelines? I just don't get that part. In the comic books, these characters, it's multiple characters that's working with each other, having interactions with each
But
other.
that's the issue that they had in this past recent thing. They tried to do that, and people thought it was too much homework. It's not just like reading. This is like a multiple hour experience trying to catch up with these things. They tried to do it with the Kate Bishops and bring in Kamala Khan and all of these things, and then try to incorporate the shows with the movies and vice versa. And it was just too much. Nick, the crowds, the fan bases said, we don't want this. So Marvel is like, all right, so we're gonna parse this out a little bit better and make it so that the shows are the shows, the movies are the movies, and it's a lot easier to be able to dictate the narrative and make things more fluid and easy for people to more palatable.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to get up out of here quick. Any last words about the movies? Anything?
Nope. I think this is the last Marvel movie of the year, right?
Yep. You got Wonder Man. You got Eyes of Wakanda dropping. That's the shows.
Okay,
Which I just
movie-wise.
hope Wonder Man don't taint
Huh?
just a little bit of push that they have had this year.
Oh, they got the Punisher special presentation too, if I'm not mistaken.
I mean, at this point, I associate Yaya with bad content, so hopefully break that streak.
Yep.
I think the break will do them some good. I think people will start to miss Marvel, I guess, a little bit, or we'll see.
Oh, they missed Marvel. They got the
break.
Jimmy drops in September.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit though. It's not like an actual film or anything.
Yeah, it's better.
I'm dead.
He said, "Yeah, no, don't worry. It's quality."
Yeah, like Amazon has been putting out better. That's
There's a point there.
Yeah.
All right then. We appreciate yet again for stopping on by.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
the whole gang as well. Krako's Corner, T Smooth. Before we leave out of here, did you have anything that you wanted to plug with your collectives or anything?
If you're in the Buffalo area or you want to come out to it, we got a work for party at title August. That. Go to blur.com. You got a
Get you a backpack, son. In the bucket.
Yeah, T decked out with it.
In the Sherpa
Make
hoodie.
sure y'all get that blur gear. Make sure y'all tap in with that blur.
Cause everybody knows about the blur. Blur, 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 blur is the word.
Blur is the word.
You got the whole fit.
somebody got to make the track.
We love to
Key
see it.
page.
You say that?
I said somebody got to make the track. Blur is.
Hey, you let me know. I cooked that thing up real quick. But yet again, we appreciate y'all. Please like and subscribe. Comment anything if you agree, if you don't agree with us. And tune in for next week. We should be at the standard time of Sunday, probably around between 6 and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We appreciate y'all. Y'all have a good rest of your week. Peace.
These dreams on the road to riches, focus on the ticket, maximize my